Hey guys, welcome back. Promised you the agent install on Wazuh, so I did find out how to pronounce that. So I guess it's Wazuh. So, anyways, just an FYI. You can personally say it however you want to say it, I guess. But today we're going to be doing an agent install. I have a Windows 2022 server that we'll be putting the agents on. We'll also be putting it on a Windows 10, which is super similar. But just to get some agents into the Wazuh SIEM so we can start collecting events. I also have an add-on video for an Apple's M1 Silicon machine, so you can see how that looks. That I'll post at the end of this video. I already pre-recorded that, so let's jump in. So I'm out at. Oh, I did also change the IP. You guys were laughing at me. I had remember I was saying I had DHCP before, so I did change the static IP on that Wazuh server, so that won't be changing on me anytime soon. And then also, I just wanted to say too that extracting this, I think in the past video, I was mentioning passwords. That the password file is in this tar that you can unzip. It might already actually be unzipped, but it's unzipped in my box here. But let's go in there real quick, and you can see there's a, oh, where is it? Yeah, there we go. Was passwords.txt. So they are there if you forget them. And don't get me wrong, you should change them, but there's some other passwords in there that you might want, like the indexer. Actually, I don't care. You guys can see it from, this is just a demo environment. It's cat. Oh, you probably should be under sudo, huh? All right, maybe. Oh, there we go. So yeah, there is some other passwords in here that you will probably want, like your log stash, API, the API user for the WI. I'm not sure what that is quite yet. Like I said, I'm learning. The Cabana server. Some of those passwords are in here. So if you, when it did do the all-in-one installation, it only dropped this admin password off on the console. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew. And I think I owed you that. So if you extract that Wazuh installer file, that tar file, they'll be in there. So let's jump back to my VMware lab. And we have a Windows 10 box here. Let's actually go onto the console of Wazuh first. And let's see what we've got there. Yeah, so you'll see Aaron's MacBook. So there's my MacBook that's running. And it's offline now, but let me unpin that agent so we get all the security. Let me boot that up real quick while we're in the meantime here. So start throwing events, kind of add to it a little bit. So looks like we've got, like I said, we've got one agent installed plus the Wazuh server. So we're going to drive out to the documentation. I have that open here. If you need the installer, I know it's you can pull it down through PowerShell or curl it down, but I just wanted to show you, like, if you're looking for it, it's under the Wazuh documentation, under the Wazuh agent, and then you can pick like Linux, Windows, Mac OS, Solaris, so on. And I'm going to look for the Windows agent, and like I said, we can do it through the CLI. So there's the CLI command to do that, and then we can do it through the GUI. Right now, I'm going to do the first installation. We'll do through the GUI on the server, and then the next one we'll do through the CLI. The Apple one is, like I said, it'll be in that add-on to this video. But there's the Intel, and then there's the Apple Silicon. So you'll have to, maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Apple Silicon. Yeah, there we go. So you'll need to pick the one that's suitable for you. And let's go back, and there's this hyperlink here under the documentation for the Windows installer. So we'll click that, get that installer downloaded. And then we're just going to walk through the basic installation, which is just hit install. And then we're going to run, we want to run that agent configuration interface once it's finished here. Maybe. Well, it's at the top there, so we'll open it from there. All right, so the Wazuh agent manager's open. Wazuh agent manager's open. So I'm going to drop the IP or of that of my current manager 172.16.1.80. That's the IP I assigned to the Wazuh manager. So we'll hit save on that. And then it does take a second to get this authentication key. And sometimes you actually have to restart the service. So let's make sure it's started. I'm going to actually restart it. And then refresh. There we go. And you'll see this authentication key that was generated on the Wazuh server and assigned to this agent here, or to this, this agent here. So we can view logs through the agent, which is kind of neat. See what it's doing. The installation is under C program files, x86, I believe. Yeah, OSEC agent. And this is actually, we're going to continue on, but this is, I'm going to do an active response video on, this is actually pretty neat. I've been playing with this to respond to threats in the network, to perform either, some kind of script or to ban an IP on a Cisco ASA. So that'll be kind of neat. So like I said, you have rule sets that we can change. There's YAML files. We'll go through this agent configuration later. Right now, this video is just for installation. So that's been installed on the 2022 box. So if we go back into the manager under agents here, we should see a total of 2 agents. So we have our ABC DC1, that's all I called it. And then like I said, I have my MacBook Air available. And let me see if I can get this MacBook up here. It should respond here in a second. All right, cool. It's got an IP. Let me refresh this real quick. Yeah, active. So pretty quick. So it's going to start dumping its logs here, whatever was generated in the last couple days. So we can click on, let's go to the ABC, and we can see some compliance for PCI, latest scans that's been performed. We can look at security events that are on this DC currently. So we've got a user log off, some logins, and then the benchmark scans that were performed as the agent got installed. And like I said, I highly recommend you guys go through the documentation on their website too for configuration, advanced configuration. So on the Windows 10, let's do this one through the CLI, but let's pull it down real quick, and then we will run it through the command line to simulate. Like I said, you could do this through, if you wanted to push it out to a bunch of machines, you could do this through GPOs or PDQ, whatever installation method, or just batch files, whichever you wanted to do. All right, so let's pull that down here. Plus agent, all right. Installation guide. Windows, let's pull this down here. Whoops, go back to this Windows installer. So Windows installer is down there. Downloads. Oh, see, my Linux. dir, let's see here. So Wazuh agent, so MSI exec, right? I mean, we can copy that script if you wanted to, make it easy, especially for this. So yeah, there's CMD, and then there's also PowerShell too, giving you examples. So let's pull that down. Not that we need it, but, and then we'll modify that. And we're gonna throw, oops, need my numlock on. 1.80, so we're just pointing it to it, and then we're going to run that MSI. And then that agent's here. It should start up by default, but so if you wanted to push that out, you could with like MSI exec. Like I said, GPO, or I don't know, whatever you're using, PDQ or some other patch software, other patch management or installation software. There we go. And this sometimes takes it a second. I'm kind of wondering how long it does take to get this installed. I've had to hit restart a couple times, so I'm not sure. Let's just wait this out. I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to wait it out. Let you know how long it takes. Well, it took like, I waited 20 minutes, still nothing. I had to eventually restart the agent, so you might have to throw that into your installation script to start the agent remotely, or at least have the box restart itself. But let's go back over to Wazuh and let's log into that box, my Linux box here, the Ubuntu box. And actually, I'm gonna center this a little bit. And let's look at some of the information on the agent. So on the Ubuntu box, I'm going to switch over to root here, if I remember my password. There we go. All right, so let's go to var osec, and then I think bin, cd bin. Let's list what's in there. So inside here, we can use some of the controls on the CLI from the Wazuh box to like manage agents, which is pretty neat. So let's do agent control. Whoops. And we can see with that -L there, we can see what agents we have and what are active. So from this command line here, that's pretty neat. So, and then we can see the ID. So 000 is the Ubuntu box, the server. 02 is the airbook. So this is just in order of how they've been installed. And then we look, let's make sure on here that we're seeing our agents here. And we'll do another video of grouping. I'm just getting into that, and I'm like pushing some configuration files out through grouping and selecting which ones I want. So there's pretty cool things. Like I said, I'm learning. This will just be an add-on to my normal channel, but I'm interested in learning this SIEM. So as we go forward, and if you have some suggestions or you're familiar with this, yeah, throw something in the comments. Always willing to learn. Sure you guys have used this before, or maybe you haven't. So that's installed. All right, let's go back. Let's do some other command line here. I wanted to show you. So if you wanted to remove an agent, that is, now this won't remove it from the PC or the server, but it will remove it from Wazuh's management. So, and that does sometimes happen where you maybe, you know, machine gets tossed out or machine's lost. We just don't want it to always show inactive. So let's do that. Let's get rid of one of these agents here, or pretend like we're going to get rid of one of them. So that one is manage agents. So like I said, there's a bunch of, so manage agents, and then we can do like a -R, and then we can do the 001 or 002. But let's just manage agents. So that'll open this window here. Have some options, so we can add an agent from here. If we wanted to, we can extract the key for an agent. We can list added agents, just like we did before, so we can see the agents that are on there, and then we can remove an agent. So R, and then we can select the agent that we already know. We could do this. Yes, quit. Like I was saying, manage agents, and then just do the R. If we already know the number we want, we could just say 3 and kill 3 off right now. So that's another good tip from the CLI of managing your agents. And then the other one I kind of thought was neat was the agent upgrade. I have been doing them before. I came from a 4.4.1, and I think we're running right now 4.4.5. So it would have been nice on some of my other setup I manually upgraded the agent through the box, not knowing that you could do this. Like I said, read the documentation helps. So we can do agent upgrade, and then that should give us a bunch of arguments. And so what we're looking for is the A, that -A there, and then the number or the whatever agent ID that you want to upgrade. And then you could script this if you want, or you could do all of them. And like I said, there's 4 silent. Looks like there's some customizations you could push out with it. So that's pretty dang handy. Would have been nice to have known that when I upgraded like 15 of these other ones. So yeah, let me go through. What else do I want to cover today? Yeah, that's about it, I think. So I'll add the Apple installation, which is very similar to the Windows one. That removal is a little weird, so I did have to remove that one. There's quite a bit to remove, and that's in that documentation, luckily, that you can pull down. Go back into this. I have the documentation up here. So at the bottom there, you'll find the uninstall, and like I said, it's a little detailed on a Mac, but not a super problem. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll have some other videos. By the way, I've got some new we'll have some new content. Just had a 5525 ASA go off market here, so I picked this up. So we'll be doing some A2A IPsec videos. Here's entering that. I've got some FortiGate firewalls that I'll be using in some other labs coming up soon. And then maybe we can upgrade this to their SourceFire off the regular ASA code. But we'll be doing just some setups with this, so which is kind of neat. So like I said, I'm a big hardware guy, so I like collecting the hardware. If you can get a hold of it, highly recommend it. Or if someone's company's taking it offline and you can take it home for a lab as you're working for them, highly recommend it. Anyways, you guys have a great day. Thanks again. Oh, by the way, Mac. Keep on watching Mac videos after this. All right, so let's start the Mac installation. So we have the Wazuh documentation open. This is where I'm going to go and get the Apple Silicon package, since I'm running a Mac M1. We're going to roll through the installation. It does require some creds there. Now the agent install is done. I'm going to keep the installer there. And now I'm going to peek back on the documentation because what we need to do is start it, but we also need to configure the agent because it's going to give us a error message here. So it doesn't know what to do because we haven't inputted the IP address. So we're going to modify this library OSEC, etc. OSEC.config file. Excuse me, my brain is a little bit. It's late tonight. We're going to modify this file and we're going to add the manager IP address here. So I'm going to have to open this. I do this in Nano, but I needed to add that. So as you see there, that manager IP address needs to change there. So we're going to change that to 172.16.1.80. We're going to save that file. And then we're going to restart it. Start the agent back up. There we go.